Wounded Warriors pick up a win last night in Game 2 of the NBA Finals, an 18-0 run to help jumpstart them. No Clay, no Durant, no problem last night as they pick up the win as an underdog. Klay Thompson, Teddy, goes 10 for 17 from the floor before exiting with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Didn't matter. The Warriors played some pretty good defense down the stretch. We're now tied up at 1, heading back to the Bay Area.
And, I mean, the worst beat of the finals for over-bettors in Game 2. We had a 4-minute scoreless stretch with, 4.5 remaining in the game, and nobody scored. And it ended up staying under the total, and a really bad result for the books on the total. A lot of books went down to 212, 212.5, landed on 213, opened 215, closed 213.5. Whenever it bounces around the number, you know, A, that wise guys are getting the best of it, and B, there's a potential the books lost both sides of that contest. So from a total standpoint, shocking end of the fourth quarter, cashed under bets. That was a really tough beat. From a side standpoint, you talked about that 18-0 run in the third quarter, to open the third quarter, and really that was the difference in the ballgame. Andre Iguodala, quote, "When we started on that run, I was saying, oh, this is good. That's the only time I'm really happy when I can say, oh, we're doing it." And they were doing it, obviously, in that ball game. You know, what did Golden State do? They played Warriors basketball. The defense was there. The three-point shooting was there. The ball movement was there. That's how you go on an 18-0 run in a finals game. And that's what the heart of a champion does. Impressive performance from Golden State. And Boogie Cousins, who was not a factor really in Game 1. Well, he had a big-time impact in Game 2. And this Golden State team that, they play small ball. They play small ball. They're not playing small ball now. They're playing with Green at the 4 and either Bogut or Cousins at the 5. So we're seeing a Warriors team shift based on the opponent that they're playing. That's good news, potentially, for Golden State moving forward.
Yeah, Teddy, I actually thought it was a really key. Cousins late in that ball game was really good because when you take a look at getting those key rebounds, even getting fouled twice late down the stretch, nice gutty win by those Warriors. What comes up must go down, Teddy. As we like to say, Siakam was 14 of 17 from the field in Game 1. In Game 2, goes back to 5 of 18. If we take a look at Leonard, finished off with 34 points. It was still a minus 14 overall. We're now worried about his health. So this is one of the more interesting things. When we take a look at the series price now, Teddy, we see the shift again because you see the even up. Now it heads back, obviously, to the Bay Area with the Warriors regaining home court advantage, minus 286 plus 230. We're going to talk about an opening line, which is really kind of interesting. But, Teddy, that series price now, what do you think about it?
Well, I was talking about taking Golden State prior to Game 2, so I still believe in the Warriors that they were going to win the series. If you didn't do it before Game 2, I wouldn't talk you out of it here. You're still getting a cheaper price on the Warriors now than you were at the get-go, although it's worth noting Toronto did something defensively with the box and one in the fourth quarter to shut down Steph Curry. Fewest points Curry scored in the last 8 games. Now, they were able to withstand that because Lowry had a bad game and fouled out, and Lowry kind of had a bad game in Game 1. Only 2 for 9 shooting, just 4 for 11 yesterday in just 27 minutes, and he fouled out of that contest in a game where Nick Nurse only had 8 guys in his rotation. That's a concern for me for Toronto moving forward. Lowry is always their X factor. When he's not playing well, the Raptors have a hard time winning.
Yeah, Golden State struggled down the stretch. Let's not forget, too, the Andre Iguodala 3. If you are a Golden State fan, we know the struggles that Iguodala's had from the three-point line. That ball's in the air. Why did you shoot? Why did you shoot? Great shot. Great shot. I knew we'd get it all the way. Looking forward to Game 3. We'll preview that in just a few moments here. How about this, Teddy? The tagline for the summer, it seems like here in the AL Central, right? Twins win, Indians lose. How about this anemic offense once again as the Indians get shut out? 6 hits, no runs as they drop 3 of 4 to the White Sox, who they're now tied with in the AL Central. And then we take a look at those Twins. Look like they were on cruise control in that ball game, Teddy, versus the Rays. Got tight a little bit at the end, a 9-7 victory. Odorizzi throws 6 shutout innings as the Twins lineup stays hot there. Now sit, Teddy, 11.5 games up on cruise control.
Exactly. And here we are, the first Monday in June, and the Twins have an 11.5 game lead in the AL Central. And look, Cleveland hasn't been hitting, but let's give credit where credit is due for the Indians getting shut down yesterday, and that's Giolito, who has been the single best pitcher in baseball. Forget Scherzer, forget whoever you want to talk about. Giolito for the White Sox. Look at what he's done in his last, 6-7 starts. Absolutely dominant. Another shutdown effort yesterday. And the markets are catching up with this guy, but That being said, when you have the best pitcher in baseball pitching on a sub 500 team that people aren't paying attention to, you can make money with those guys, like the Giolito. As for the Twins, look, that was a statement series for Minnesota. I'll give them credit. Tampa had been playing great ball. I didn't know if the Twins were going to be able to go down there and take care of business. They dominated. And that Twins lineup, which has been hot all year, they battered a Rays bullpen that has been particularly effective in 2019. That's a good sign for Minnesota moving forward.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, Teddy, because obviously 11 and a half games up, odds-on favorite to probably get to the playoffs, as we would know. We'll see if they tack on at the trade down, and we'll keep an eye on them as the summer moves along. But we're getting you ready for NFL opening day, as usual, here on SBRodds.com, that betting show. Taking a look at the 2019 team preview today. The Big Apple, we're going with the New York Jets, 50-1 ticket to win the 2019 championship, 25-1, Teddy, to win the AFC, and their team total sitting at 7.5, finished 4-12 last year by going 1-5 in the AFC East. New coach, new GM, and a recently opening new GM position there. Looks like Adam Gase won a power struggle with Mike McCagnon, so they are interviewing guys. Joe Douglas out of Philadelphia, also looking like he's a front-runner candidate for that spot. We'll keep you filled in once that takes place. Big money all season. It's really interesting, Teddy, when you look at the Jets, and it seems like they can never get out of their own way. You hire the head coach, you let a GM go through the offseason, spend a lot of money and run your draft, and the minute it's over, you push him right out the door. Obviously, you get Le'Veon Bell. We heard the rumblings out there. Adam Gase didn't want Le'Veon Bell, but they paid him a lot of money. You better be able to use him in a right way. But the one thing I did like there, I like their young wide receiver core there, Teddy. Jamison Crowder comes over from the Washington Redskins. You team him up with Robbie Anderson and Quincy Enunwa. You got a pretty good set. Also spent a lot of money on a linebacker with C.J. Mosley coming over from those Baltimore Ravens, and you get a really good defensive tackle out of Alabama. Things are on the rise there, Teddy, for those New York Jets.
Well, the betting markets seem to think so. And, of course, being how bad the Jets have been in recent years, 4-12 last year, 5-11 the year before, I think 5-11 the year before that. It's been a pretty ugly run for the Jets, hence Todd Bowles being shown the door and Adam Gase getting the job. Now, again, I am a Gase fan, all right? And he's getting all this, the Dolphins, one winning season and all these head-scratching. No. Gase probably single-handedly won the Dolphins about 8 more games than they deserved to win during his tenure in Miami. Some of them are lucky. Some of them are coaching. I don't blame Gase for Miami's failures. All that being said, he's coming to New York, media capital. Immediately, there's an issue with the GM, and the GM goes walking him. He won the power struggle. Gase's track record. Let's see. He got Jay Cutler up to speed. Okay. You want a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning? Oh, well, you can do that. Not like Tannehill exploded during his tenure in Miami, but that's his MO. And, of course, he's got a quarterback to work with. Sam Darnold last year, his numbers weren't great. The Jets' numbers weren't great. They finished minus 0.8 yards per play, minus 0.6 yards per rush. Darnold had a 77.6 QB rating, opponents had a 93. They were minus 10 in turnovers last year. Of course, they're going to have a losing team with a rookie QB, limited skill position talent around him, et cetera, et cetera. Last year, the schedule slightly weaker than average. This year, one of the 5 easiest schedules in the NFL based on this year's season win totals. And you talk about some of the additions that they made. You have Loggains as a new QB coach / Gase's OC. You have a team that, you bring in a Quinnen Williams with the number 1 pick, 3rd overall at defensive tackle. Polite, the offensive linebacker, I think is going to have an impact for them. Obviously, a free agent signing like Le'Veon Bell. You talked about Jamison Crowder. Mosley is the big-time linebacker. I think Kelechi Osemele, I should say, is going to be an impact for the offensive line. That's what they need. They need an offensive line that actually blocks for their quarterback and allows some of these young receivers to get open. There's hope for New York this year. There is. I like Darnold. They spent a bunch of money in free agency to win now. The division is not loaded, with the exception of the Patriots, obviously. And it's a team that's stockpiled on some pretty high draft choices that could be primed to break out this season. But major media market, tons of high-profile skill position talent. These aren't the type of teams that we normally find value with on a week-in, week-out basis. Unless the Jets really turn around, Darnold turned into a star, which is possible. That's the upside. The downside is another 4-12 season.